all kinds of sideways in this rivalry. It is intense. Both these teams respect one another, but they both want to win this game. So a lot on the line tonight. The series is on the line tonight. Also on the line tonight is first place. So a lot to consider, a lot to think about. And speaking of things to think about, here's the starting lineups. First for the visitors from Fort Mill. Leading off at third is Eli Craddock. Batting second place, second will be Nico Bartolotti. Batting third, the center fielder, Jonathan Barshow. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, number 3, Gabe Simmons. Batting fifth, first baseman, number 24, Scott Young. Batting sixth in right field, number 11, Sam Chiz. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 12, Hunter Busquet. Batting eighth in left field is number 6, Drew Bendris. And the catcher, batting ninth, is number 4, Drew Gaff. On the mound tonight for Fort Mill is Jacob Jankowski. Head coach Tom School, assisted by Travis Collier, Jonathan Romano, and Joel Riley. Now the starting lineup for Rock Hill Post 34. Leading off at short is John Wimmer. Batting second and center is Ethan Wilson. Batting third will be the catcher Josh Jackson. Batting cleanup, third baseman Cooper Parks. Batting fifth, left fielder Cole Canty. Batting sixth, right fielder Jake Douglas. Batting seventh at first base, number 17, Jack Peeler. Batting eighth is the designated hitter, number 9, Jack Burton. And batting ninth at second base, number 6, Tyler Champagne. Pitcher tonight for Rock Hill Post 34 defeated Fort Mill Post 43 in this ballpark in game 1 of the series. That is York Cougar Landon Sexton. Saw his mom and dad walking into the park tonight. Always great to talk to them. They are good people. Head coach Jeremy McCoy, assisted by his brother Jordan McCoy, Noah Gammons, and Jake Riggins. Now for the code of sportsmanship and the national anthem. You're listening to Post 43 Senior Baseball on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network, powered by MixLR and YouTube. Back in a moment. So basically, got to make those games up against Jimmy Jackson's crew, who is a tough group. They are tomorrow night, and then on Monday and Wednesday, the playoffs start the following Monday. Not July 4th week, but the following week, and we will see how that goes. There's been some talk about what the brackets look like. We'll worry about that next week as we get a little bit closer. Tonight is for temporary first place in the region. Right now, Rock Hill holds that spot, and they do it by a half a game. Ironically, the junior teams are playing tonight. Rock Hill is playing at Fort Mill. That junior game is also for first place and looks exactly the same. Fort Mill is a half a game behind Rock Hill, but again, it's still temporary because the juniors still have to play some games next week as well before their playoffs begin. So a lot to play for, a lot to consider, and a lot to get done. But this will be an entertaining game. It always is when these two hook up. It's a rematch. It is a rematch of the first game of the series as Landon Sexton will toe the rubber back after his mission trip to Guatemala, but he is back in town. He'll be throwing to the catcher tonight for Rock Hill. That is the talented Josh Jackson. Your third baseman is Cooper Parks. Your shortstop is John Wimmer. Second baseman, Tyler Champagne. First baseman, Shaq Peeler. The outfield from left to right for Jeremy McCoy's Rock Hill squad is Cole Canty, Ethan Wilson, and Jay Douglas. Rock Hill wearing the red jerseys. It's like a cherry red, navy blue letters and numbers. It says Rock Hill in script across the chest underline. Has their unique 34 number in their particular font. Looks really good. Kind of a classic look, classic baseball look, if you will. White pants, no stripe, navy blue hat with the 34 logo on the front of the hat. And Fort Mill wearing the navy blue tops. Post 43 in script across the chest, underlined by the American flag. Numbers on the back are with the American flag type font. And leading it off for Fort Mill will be Eli Craddock. And here we go. Fourth and final game of the series between Rock Hill and Fort Mill. Landon Sexton against Jager Pankowski. Two different pitchers, two different stances, two different ways of going about their business. Both very effective, but in different ways. Landon Sexton, his out pitch, as everybody knows, that's devastating slider, especially when he can bang it on the outside corner to right-handers and gets that call. He's really, really hard to beat. First pitch of the ball game is right down Tom Hall Street. We're underway. We're early. 6:58 p.m. It is a very muggy 90 degrees in the beautiful city of Rock Hill, South Carolina. It feels like 112 on the field, though. It is hot. The 0-1 tried to check his swing. Did he? I believe they say he did. Some hazy clouds above us. Not really a whole lot to worry about weather-wise other than just the heat. Sun setting behind us. And as we go through these early innings, shade will begin to creep across the surface. That pitch is swung on and fouled straight back into the screen. And that'll drive the count to 1-2. The lovely Shipman family has to tolerate me for another 7 innings tonight. Bless their heart. Had another conversation with Andrew before tonight's game. Always good to catch up with him and kind of just shoot the bull on baseball a little bit. 1-2 to Eli. Fastball high, goes all the way to the backstop, bangs off the fence and hits the umpire in the right leg. And he didn't even act like he hit it. It's 2-2 to Eli. Center fielder kind of shaded in the left center field gap a little bit. The pitch swung on and popped up a mile high, shallow right center field. Coming over into the gap is Douglas, and he'll squeeze it for out number 1. That'll bring up Nico Bartolotti.
Number 16, Nico Bartolotti.
Nico and Eli continue to battle back and forth to see who will be the hitting king of Fort Mill Post 43. Eli's had his chance. Now it's Nico's turn.
Absolutely.
Pitch from Landon Sexton. That fastball misses high and outside to Nico. Brevard College commit. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight wherever you may be across the fruited plains of this beautiful country of ours. The 1-0 pitch swung on and a one-hopper, and it eats up Wimmer into left center field. Took a funny hop off the grass. He tried to give it the old Olay, and I think the ball did carry him off his glove slightly, but a hard hit ball nonetheless. We'll see how the official scores that, but a one-out base runner for Fort Mill nonetheless. and that'll bring up Jonathan Barshow.
Now batting, number 8, Jonathan Barshow.
Boy, howdy, has Jonathan been a pleasant surprise for Fort Mill. He came in that first week or so, kind of struggled a little bit hitting, but he has been on fire since. That fastball high and inside. And by looking at him, it comes across that he's found himself a little bit by not chasing pitches out of the zone, especially soft and away, making the pitcher come in the zone. The pitch, breaking ball, down the heart of the plate, but missed low. 2-0 is the count. My buddy, the legendary Doug Chapman, is in the ballpark tonight. He affectionately calls me JT Scully. It's a little joke between he and I. The 2-0 fastball tried to paint the outside corner, and the umpire said no, and it's 3-0. No, and it's 3-0. Pitch, fastball, paints the inside corner. And that was the pitch Landon Sexton made a living on in game 1 of this series. He continued to go back to that exact spot, and the umpire was consistent, gave him that spot all night long. Fort Mill did a poor job, in my opinion, of adjusting to it. (3-1) fastball, outside corner at the knees. So Landon Sexton battles back to load the count at 3-2. There's a runner at first. That is Nico Bartolotti, 1 down, and a full count to Barshow. And I'm still sweating, and I've been in this press box for 20 minutes. Runner checks off for second. The pitch is called strike 3. The throw down, not in time. It'll go as a strikeout and a stolen base for Nico. And they're going to call interference on Jonathan Barshow, and that means that Barshow and Nico are out. And they're going to call interference on Jonathan Barshow, and that means that Barshow and Nico are out, and that will retire the side. By the way, the official score on that hard hit ball by Nico Bartolotti was scored an error officially. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and in the end, nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Fort Mill nothing, and Rock Hill Post 34 is coming up.
Interference call, ladies and gentlemen, resulted in a double play. No runs in the first. Out at the end.
Long-distance and international move. Get a quote today, ValentineMoving.com, or call 704-544-1800. And Palmetto Family Hearing Center, our Call to the Bullpen sponsor, dedicated to serving all their patients' hearing needs with expertise and quality. There in Fort Mill and in Lancaster. And always open at PalmettoFamilyHearing.com. Please, please, please support those who support American Legion Fort Mill baseball. 1-0 is the count to the leadoff man for Rock Hill. That is John Wimmer, who can change a game with 1 swing of the bat. That breaking ball stays high. It's 2-0. Jager Pankowski is the pitcher. The catcher's Drew Gaff. Eli Craddock at third. Gabe Simmons at short. Nico Bartolotti at second. Scott Young is at first. Your outfield from left to right after this pitch. Outside corner at the knees. It's 2-1. Drew Enders is in left field. Jonathan Barshow in center. Sam Chiz in right. Pitch, breaking ball, swung on and hammered. Deep left field. I don't think the park's going to hold it, and it will not. It's way out of here. It's a solo home run off the bat of John Wimmer, and that's what I was talking about. Can change a game with one swing of the bat. That was a breaking ball that was up, and it was a hanger, and John Wimmer did not miss it, and it's 1-0 Rock Hill. And that was a no-doubter off the bat of Wimmer.
The Angels were here in pregame watching workout.
Is that what it was? It looked like an angel picked that baseball up and carried it out there. That thing was murdered.
Now batting the center fielder.
Here's Ethan
number
Wilson.
5, Ethan Wilson.
I quote the famous Larry Anderson of the Houston Astros broadcast team when he famously said, anything hit that long and hard should have a stewardess and an in-flight movie. First pitch called a strike. The Los Angeles Angels, or whatever the heck they're called these days, they were looking at John Wimmer. The pitch, whatever the heck they're called these days, they were looking at John Wimmer. The pitch, that swung on and drilled. Deep center field, going back, Barshow reaching for the fence, reaches up, and it literally hits off the top of the fence. Not a home run, but it will be a stand-up double. And Rock Hill is teeing off right now on Jager Pankowski. Back-to-back extra base hits. And that'll bring up Josh Jackson.
The catcher, number 4, Josh Jackson.
Not the start that Coach Schooler wanted. Fort Mill ended up going 1-2-3, although unconventionally. So runner at second. That'll put Jager into the stretch for the first time tonight. Fans still piling in here to Rock Hill High School, home of the Bearcats. The pitch swung on and hit right back up the box into center field. That's going to score a run. No, Coach McCoy gives a late stop sign to Ethan, and chasing back to first is Josh Jackson. But that ball was a scalded dog. Back-to-back base knocks for Rock Hill. And we're going to have a courtesy runner. That's Cole Canty.
22, Cole Canty. Coming to the plate, the third baseman, number 11.
No, he's not. So Canty's, I'm sorry. I thought he was running. I did too. I thought he was running. That's my bad. Sorry, Ship.
No. I thought it was.
Cooper Parks is the next batter for Rock Hill.
Cooper Parks.
It'll be first and third. And Drew Gaff goes out there to talk to Pankowski. And he's making hand signals to the Fort Mill bench, the dugout, first base side. What that's about, not 100% sure. I do have a guess, but that's all it would be, is simply a guess. Pitch from Jager, high and inside. Runner takes off for second to throw down in time. Bang, bang play goes the way of Fort Mill. Great throw by Drew Gaff. And that'll take care of Josh Jackson, who has wheels. You got to put it right on the money to get him, and that's where that throw was. So that'll go as a caught stealing. First out, now runner at third, one down. The 1-0 outside corner, off the corner. It's 1-0 Rock Hill, bottom of the first on the John Wimmer solo home run, and there is a youngster going up the hill to go get that baseball. It hit the grass and rolled into the trees, young man. On at Tapper, third base side. This will score the run. Eli cuts off Gabe, throw to first. Airmail Scott Young is going to bounce all the way against the fence. Strolling into second base will be Cooper Parks, and it's 2-0 Rock Hill. That will go as an E5. And now it's Cole Canty's turn. Runner at second, only one down.
Now batting the left fielder, number 22, Cole Canty.
Ethan Wilson was the young man who came home to score. And it's the same score as the last time Fort Mill played in this park. The final score of that game was 2-0. That's exactly where we're at. Pitch from Jager, swung on and popped up a mile high, right side. I think it will twist out of play. Heads up over there, and it does. It lands right in the middle of the Fort Mill section down the first base line. They're making sure the fence doesn't fall down. As action begins to stir in the Fort Mill bullpen, and it looks like it's Seth Hansen. That's a sign that you can't allow too many more runs from Rock Hill. Pitch high and inside, almost hit him. Canty's got power. I think that was just Jaeger backing him off the plate a little bit. Maybe come back with something soft and away here as he double up. Breaking ball outside corner, but it hung and it's ripped into left field for a base hit. Coming around to score easily will be Cooper Parks, and it's 3-0 Rock Hill, and sliding into second on the throw in is Canty. So give him an RBI, and it's all Rock Hill. And that'll bring a visit to the mound by Coach Travis Collier. So it started with a home run, a double, a single, an error, and another single. It's 3-0. And John Wimmer's home run, Josh Jackson's single, and Cole Canty's base hit to left field, all on breaking balls that didn't break. And Rock Hill is a really, really good team offensively. You don't need much. You don't give them much, I should say, before they put up a crooked number. They're just that explosive. And you can ask any team that they played. Go back to the North Carolina-South Carolina Challenge, for crying out loud. They put up crooked number after crooked number. It was just a hit parade. So the conversation was with the entire infield. So Coach Collier will go back to the first base dugout. And that'll bring up the very dangerous Jay Douglas, the right fielder for Rock Hill. Right-hander right on top of the plate. Pitch. Fastball missed low and off the corner. Sound like a broken record with these Rock Hill batters, but Mr. Douglas, another one that has power. Pitch from Jaeger, swung on and ripped right to Eli Craddock. He'll look the runner back to second. That's Canty. Throw to first in time. So second out for Jack Peeler. Good job by Eli. That ball was hit on the screws. And now Jeremy McCoy is going to pay a visit to the umpire out in the field. And Mr. Shipman, did you happen to see? I didn't see anything. I was trying to see what Coach McCoy has seen. He's going to ask for help here. We shall see. Eli gloved it, looked Canty back to the bag, threw to first. Maybe he's asking if Scott came off the bag too quickly. That's the only thing I can think. And they say he is safe. He's out. Okay.
All right.
Pick a card, any card. He initially said he was out, then he's safe, then he's out. Nonetheless, he is out, so that will go as a ground out. 5-3 on the foot out. Technically a fielder's choice because of runners at second. 2 down now. And left-handed Jack Peeler will step into the box. Pitch from Jaeger, swung on a missed. There's the changeup from Cheeseball. His dad, Jared, is down the right field line. I can see his sunglasses. The 0-1 breaking ball right down Tom Hall Street. It's 0-2. Hard to believe. The playoffs start in a little over, well, basically 10 days from now. Pitch swung on and a hard ground ball. Scott Young will dive. He'll smother it. A little PFP to Kankowski will retire the side. Nice play by Scott Young. That will go as a put out. It'll go 3-1 on the put out. But Rock Hill, as they pick up, let's see what the official score is going to say here. So Rock Hill picked up 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, 1 man left. We head to the second inning. It's all Rock Hill. It's 3-0. Of those runs, 2 will be earned, 1 will be unearned, and that's because of the error. So Landon Sexton will now toe the rubber with a lead. And going to take a timeout and be right back with you for the top of the second inning. You're listening to Fort Mill Post 43 Senior Baseball on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Back in a minute. Papa John's pizza over here to the left, and it's got stuff on it. It's not plain like my wife and kid eat it, just cheese. It's got stuff. That's what you want on pizza. You want stuff. 3-0 Rock Hill as we head to the second inning. Heart of the order for Fort Mill: Simmons, Young, Chiz, 4, 5, and 6 against Landon Sexton. Pitch, breaking ball, called a strike. Sexton, a graduate of York Comprehensive High School, goes to SMC. Very good program in Spartanburg. The Pioneers, they've turned out a player or 12. The 0-1 swung on, and this one's roped in the left field, but the left fielder are going to come in a little bit, about 10 steps, and he'll rip it out of the air. An Adam ball, but it's out number 1 for Scott Young. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight, whether you're on the MixLR app or on YouTube. You can always reach out to me via text, 803-367-2357. Or you can hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, also on Instagram. Pitch from Sexton, swung on and hit a mile high, right field, fairly deep. Jay Douglas has a beat on it near the line, and he'll squeeze it, and quickly 2 down. And that'll bring up Sam Chiz, whose dad Ryan is down. And that'll bring up Sam Chiz, whose dad Ryan is down below us, baking in the heat. If you want to watch the game on Game Changer, that camera probably has a better angle than mine. Mine's a higher view. His gives you a more field level view. He does have what's affectionately known as the spider hanging on the fence. I got to get me one of those. The pitch for Sexton, fastball high and inside for ball 1. We're in the top of the second. It's all Rock Hill. It's 3-0. The flags in left center are completely limp. There's the slider. And Landon mad at himself. 2-0 the count to Sam Chiz, Clover graduate. One of 6, I believe there are 6, Clover Blue Eagles on the 22-man squad for Fort Mill this year. The 2-0 swung on and sprayed foul right side. Over the head of Coach Joel Riley, he's in the first base coach's box. Jonathan Romano in the third base coach's box, along with Coach Skula, the all-time winningest coach in Fort Mill post-43 history. Pitch, breaking ball, right down the heart of the plate, but missed low. With the victory the other night, Coach Skula is up to 147 victories as head coach of Fort Mill post-43. The 3-1 swung on and ripped through the whole left side base hit. First base hit of the night for Fort Mill, second base runner for post-43, and a little 2-out metric for Hunter Biscay. Or you can just affectionately call him Biscuit. Everybody calls Hunter Biscay Biscuit.
Number 12, Hunter Biscay.
Go ahead and give the obligatory hello to his father, Eddie, who is basically this year's team mascot, if you will. The pitch, fastball, tried to paint the outside corner and missed. The juniors are playing tonight. They're playing Rock Hill. That's also a battle for first place. No score as they head to the bottom of the second over at Catawba Ridge High School. The Swamp. The 1-0. That one missed low. I think that might have been the changeup. Overthrew it just a bit. It's 2-0 here to Biscay. Another Clover Blue Eagle. He's headed to Brevard College. The 2-0 breaking ball stayed high the entire way. It's 3-0. If Hunter can keep the line moving, Drew Idris has a black bat. He works on deck. The 3-0 fastball outside, and that's outside the corner. That I thought was ball 4, and the umpire says it is. Hunter didn't realize it was ball 4, but it is. So a single and a walk. Runners at first and second, 2 out for Drew Idris.
Number 6, Drew Idris.
I want to thank his mom, Carla, for sponsoring Fort Mill Post-43 baseball. Allstate Insurance. She's in Indian Land, ladies and gentlemen. She does it all. Quote or visit her office in Indian Land. Good people. Drew's a good kid. Pitch to Drew. There is the curveball. But with Landon Sexton, it's not just your traditional curveball that goes 12-6. It has some bite to it. It has glove side movement, which basically means it's not a 12-6. It kind of falls off 11-5. But he has the slider on top of it. So you have to pick up the spin really quickly. The 1-0, that one's in the dirt. That's a nice stop by Jackson. And by the way, all of this started with nobody on and 2 outs. And now Josh is going to go out and talk to Landon. And while he does that, Coach Romano is going to have a chat with Drew Enders. Drew is a graduate of Indian Land High School. He goes to Caldwell College. Coach Collier coaching up Drew Gaff, who has the fashion statement going in the on-deck circle. He's got the shin guards on, just in case Enders is retired here. He can just slap on the top part of the gear. 2-0 the count. Pitch from Sexton. Fastball inside corner at the knees. 2 balls and a strike. Sexton staring right into the sun, as is all the defenders except for Josh Jackson behind the old dish. Pitch. Fastball stays high and outside. 3-1 is the count. And Drew lost count of it. So Biscuit didn't realize he'd earned a walk, and Drew thought it was ball 4. Somewhere in between, the truth lies. You want the truth? I think I'm entitled. The 3-1 swung on in a chopper. Foul. See if Romano's still got hands. Oh, nice one-handed stab. Bravo. Still got hands. I'll tell you, at Cookout later tonight, he will make that sound like an 80-mile-an-hour screamer. He will make that sound like an 80-mile-an-hour screamer that he snagged out of the air. The 3-2 fastball high and inside as the runners were in motion, but that's ball 4, and that will load the bases. And here comes the aforementioned Drew Gaff. And let's just call a spade a spade. This is a huge spot in this game right here. If Landon Sexton can retire Drew Gaff with nothing coming across, it's a huge shot in the arm for Rock Hill with a 3-run lead. One swing of the bat, though, and Fort Mill could take momentum back. I know we're only in the second, but sometimes you can look back at moments like this in a game and think that was a shot right there. Pitch, fastball high and inside. Landon out of the stretch. He pitches exclusively out of the stretch. So no change there. The 1-0 swung on a foul back to the screen. We can go back to the top of the order if Drew Gaff can keep this back to the screen. We can go back to the top of the order if Drew Gaff can keep this 90-feet parade rolling merrily along here. Like a parade during Mardi Gras. That would be nice. Right center field is wide, stinking open. The 1-1, fastball high and inside to Drew Gaff. It's 2-1. And now Jeremy McCoy is going to sprint out to the mound. I think Jeremy realizes what I was just talking about. Coach McCoy will go out there. Talk to Jeremy before tonight's game. Again, always good to catch up with him and Jordy and Riggs. A lot of good coaches on this staff. For Rock Hill Post 34, Jake Riggins, Jordy McCoy, Noah Gammons, head coach Jeremy McCoy, the junior staff's pretty solid as well. I want to say the juniors, I want to say Fort Mill is 8-3, and Rock Hill is 9-3, or 8-2. It's a half game. If I remember what Keith said correctly, it's a half game lead for Rock Hill. The 2-1 from Sexton swung on and fouled straight back. That was the pitch to hit. Now Gaff's got to choke up a little bit, look fastball, adjust everything else, try to find a hole. I am keeping an eye on the junior game. The pitch from Sexton swung on, and this one is fouled out of play. He tried to come inside and jam him. They're in the bottom of the second inning over at the Swamp. Fort Mill has the bases loaded, nobody out, in a scoreless game. Interesting. Zach Young, the starter there. Pitch from Sexton. Breaking ball. Call strike 3 right on the outside corner. What a comeback by Landon Sexton. No runs, a hit, no errors, and the bases left loaded. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Rock Hill still leads 3-0. Back in a moment here on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Headed to the bottom of the second inning here at Rock Hill High School, home of the Bearcats. Fort Mill Post 43 against Rock Hill Post 34. It's 3-0 Rock Hill with the lead, and big moment there. Fort Mill with the bases loaded, not able to push a run across. So here for Rock Hill, it's going to be 8, 9, and 1 in the order. For Coach McCoy's team, that's Burton, Champaign, Women. Jack is the DH tonight for the pitcher, Landon Sexton. He is a stocky left-hander. Bit of a crouch, slightly open stance. Pitch from Jager. Breaking ball right down Tom Hall Street for strike 1. Mr. Doug Chapman in the house. He has spent the last 57 years on the sideline with Fort Mill. Pitch. Foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, Drew Gabb, quickly 0-2. He's down to my right. If I could implore everybody, if you could have Mr. Doug in your thoughts and prayers, please. He had procedure earlier today. The 0-2 breaking ball swung on and a worm burner to Simmons at short. He's got it. Pats the glove twice. Throw across is perfect. And that'll take care of Peeler. That'll bring up Burton. Or I beg your pardon. That'll take care of Burton. Now they're Champaign. I'll get it right in a second.
Moving to the plate, second baseman, number 6, Tyler Champaign.
Mr. Doug has a lot of back and neck issues, and I'm not sure he's really supposed to be here, but I guess he got a hall pass. The pitch, fastball, outside corner at the knees. But if y'all could keep Mr. Doug in your thoughts and prayers, would really appreciate it. He has a heart of gold. The 0-1 breaking ball stayed high the entire time. 1-1 is the count. Nobody on, 1 out. The 1-1 off the outside corner, 2-1. When Travis Collier became the head baseball coach at Fort Mill, one of the first calls he made was to Mr. Doug to ask him to keep the book. The breaking ball is swung on and missed, and it's 2-2. And of course, Mr. Doug jumped all over that like a pack of wolves on a 3-legged cat. And some of the best conversations I've ever had are on a bus ride home, and we're talking about plays and how they were scored. Pitch swung on and roped right to Eli Craddock on 2 hops, but he'll gun it across. 2 up and 2 down. Back to the top of the order, and John Wimmer. Who started the first inning onslaught with a solo home run that went just to the right of the light fixture in center field. If you're familiar with this ballpark, not quite halfway between the light pole and the flagpole, but kind of in that area where it says 335. The pitch. Here's a worm burner at the middle, and it's going to squeeze through for a base hit. Outside pitch, just threw the bat through the zone, and John Wimmer is 2 for 2. So a 2-out base runner, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Ethan Wilson. he doubled his last time up.
Now batting, number
He came
5.
around to score run number 2 for Rock Hill. That was on the error committed by Fort Mill. Jager out of the stretch. The pitch swung on and hit a mile high right field, shallow. Sam Chiz coming in, still coming in near the line, will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to inning number 3. Your score remains Rock Hill 3 and Fort Mill 0. Headed to the 3rd inning, ladies and gentlemen. 3-0 Rock Hill is your score. By the way, of 3-0, they're still batting in the bottom of the 2nd inning over at the Swamp at Catawba Ridge High School. Fort Mill Juniors 3-0 over Rock Hill Post 34. That game also in first place in the region. There has been some scuttlebutt about the playoffs and about the format and how it will go. I'm not going to really opine about that until I see it officially, and I've seen some stuff, but let's just put it this way. I think it's very safe to say that both Rock Hill and Fort Mill are going to the postseason. And usually what the Legion does, and I think they do a good job of it, they try to make sure that every team gets a shot at the postseason. Fastball off the outside corner at the Legion. But I've heard people talk about it could be a best of 3 1-on-1, or it could be like a pool play, kind of like the ACC tournament. We'll see. 1-0 off the outside corner, 2-0. Fort Mill has won 1 series already, and that was 3-1 over Winsboro. Defeated Lancaster earlier this week, so up 1-0 on Post 31. Breaking ball right down Tom Hall Street. It's 2-1 to Craddock. He flew out to right field to start the ball game. We'll take on Coach Jimmy Jackson's P31s tomorrow, and then again on Monday and Wednesday. The 2-1 swung on, and a missile into center field. It's going to die. Can the center fielder get there? Yes, he can. Put a star by that one. What a nice play in center field by Wilson. Another flashing of the leather in this series. So 1 up and 1 down for Nico Bartolotti. And he reached his first time up, but then was called out on interference on the batter. Pitch off the outside corner to Nico. You could have an argument whether his was a base hit or an error. You could go back and forth on it. You could have an argument about that all day long. Pitch swung on and hit foul and out of play. My personal opinion is it's an error. Fielder comes up with it, makes a good throw to first, gets him easily. And in that situation, I think it's disingenuous to call it anything but an error. That pitch is a fastball, painted it black. Must be a Rolling Stone fan because he painted it black. It's 1-2 to Nico. For you youngster people and don't know that song, go look it up. It's a great rock and roll song. The 1-2 from Sexton, the old Uncle Charlie, but missed outside. It's 2-2 to Bartolotti. Junior team is now rolling all over Fort Mill, 4-0. They're still batting in the second. Pitch from Landon Sexton. Fastball high and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. My buddy Keith Cook is broadcasting that game tonight. He's on the MixLR app, MIXLR. It's free. And remember what they say. If it's free, it's for me. All you got to do is hit the search button. 3-2 to Nico. Swung on and hit foul left side. And Nico stays alive at 3-2. All you got to do is hit the search button and type in One Nation Sports all together, no spaces. One Nation Sports. And you'll see the Nation 4 Falcon logo. And you'll see his mug as the icon. And that game should be live. Another 3-2. Swung on and roped down the right field line, but it's going to make a right turn and go foul down into the gargantuan amount of foul space down the right field line in this ballpark. Now, the left field foul line, not so much. It actually gets narrower and narrower slightly as it gets towards the foul pole. Now, the right field line, on the other hand, it gets bigger. And it also slants down to the right, and then there's a little terrace, almost like a Clemson, where the elevation changes as it gets near the fence. 3-2. Low it inside, ball 4 to Bartolotti. So he reaches for the second time. So a one-out base runner for Jonathan Barshow.
Now batting, number 8, Jonathan Barshow.
Coach Jonathan Romano will flash the numbers. Everybody's got a wristband looking at what the play is. Bartolotti, deceptive speed. He will steal on you. Fastball swung on and a tapper foul. And look at Coach McCoy jumping out of the dugout. He still got hops. He hands it to his brother. I'm sure he said something like, see? But you can't do that. The 0-1 from Landon swung on and a hard hit ground ball up the middle. Nice job as he dives to stop it. Throw to first. Got him. What a double play by Rock Hill. Wow. Flashing the leather. 4-6-3 on the double play. It will go Champagne to Wimmer over to Peeler, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We have the bottom of the 3rd inning. Rock Hill still leads 3-0. I said there was 1 runner left. There were actually no runners left on base after that double play. So Rock Hill leads 3-0 as we head to the home half of the 3rd. And 4, Coach McCoy's squad will be the heart of the order. 3, 4, and 5. Josh Jackson, Cooper Parks, Cole Canty.
Hitting off the bottom of the 3rd, it's number 4.
Mr. Jackson last time up
Jackson
hit a hanging breaking ball and roped it for a base hit, and then was caught stealing on a bang-bang play at second. Pitch from Pankowski is swung on and fouled back. Coach Jordy McCoy in the third base coach's box. I think is Noah. Coach Jordy McCoy in the third base coach's box. I think is Noah in first base, isn't it? Yep, Mr. Gammons. Or Coach Gammons, sorry. The 0-1, breaking ball, swung on and hammered. Deep center field. Barshow on his horse in front of the track will reach up, battle the sun, and make the catch. Ball was sent for a ride. And Rock Hill is just stinging the baseball right now. 1 down for Parks. I bring up Jordy because he is in the shade, but Eli is not. Left fielder Drew Enders in the shade, but center fielder Marshall is not. There's a breaking ball off the corner. For ball one, Parks reached on an error. Pitch swung on and popped up a mile high over our heads. Reached on an error, came around to score on the Cole Canty RBI base knock. That made it 3-0. That's where we still stand. Or sit, or lay. Depends on your point of view. The 1-1 hits the outside corner for a strike. Shameless plug. My wife for Christmas, my wife loves me. There's no doubt. She tolerates me, first of all. That's a miracle in and of itself. Because I'm addicted to this thing called baseball. The 1-2 is swung on and a warm burner to the second baseman Bartolotti, who pat the glove twice, throw to first in time, and quickly 2 down. So she tolerates baseball season. She's not a huge fan of the game. But for Christmas, she still got me what I consider just probably one of the greatest gifts I've ever received. It's called a moon pod. I've got a lot of back problems, a lot of nerve issues that cause a lot of pain, a lot of chronic pain, constant pain. So sitting in chairs and things like that is really harmful for my back, causes a lot of pain. This moon pod she got me, nothing. I can lay on it, sit on it, can lay sideways with it. It's all good. Fastball high and inside to Mr. Canty. Pankowski kicks and fires. That pitch is swung on and hit high in the air, deep left center field. I don't think the ballpark's holding this one either, and it will not. Second home run of the night for Rock Hill. Cole Canty sends one out of here, and it's 4-0. And that ball not quite hit as far as Wimmer's, but in a very similar spot. So the inning will continue. The line will continue to move for right fielder Jay Douglas. The action that was in the four-man bullpen is no more.
Jay Douglas.
So the hole for post 43 just got bigger. And now you go back to the bases loaded situation and Fort Mill not able to scratch at least one run. Now that becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Pitch, fastball high and inside. Jay is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to Eli Craddock. Pitch, fastball off the corner. 2 balls and no strikes. The lights are on, but plenty of sunlight still left. The 2-0 swung on and hit off the end of the bat foul. 2 balls and a strike to Jay Douglas. About 30% of the field now in the shade. The 2-1 fastball. I'm going to say it was a bit high. It looked like 3-1. I think Jager wanted it there, but the umpire said it was off the plate. Pitch swung on and a hard foul ball past Coach McCoy in third base. And that'll run the count full 3-2. 4-0 Rock Hill as we play ball here in the bottom of the third inning. The juniors are in the top of the third. Rock Hill got a run back. It's 4-1 Fort Mill. That line score in the junior game, I can't wait to talk to Keith about how that game unfolded because you look at the line score, it's interesting reading. 3-2, misses outside, ball 4. First walk issued by Jager. So a runner at first, 2 down for Jack Peeler.
First baseman number 17.
So that junior game, your line score is Rock Hill, 2 runs on 3 hits, 4 errors. Fort Mill has 4 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. They're only in the third. 5 errors in 1 game, and they're in the third. I would give a coach gray hair in a heartbeat. Make their hair fall out. Pitch from Cheese, swung on and foul back. Jack grounded out on a great play by Scott Young. Scott had to dive to his right, smother it. Jager, Johnny on the spot, what they call PFP. Every baseball team in the world practices PFPs. The 0-1, here it comes. There it goes. High and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. And now Jager Pankowski wants a fresh baseball, and the home plate umpire will oblige. 1 ball and 1 strike. And now Jager Pankowski wants a fresh baseball, and the home plate umpire will oblige. Drew Gaff will hand it to the home plate umpire, who will rub it up a little bit. He'll put it back in his sack on his right side. Save that one for later. There's a snap throw to first. Trying to keep Jay Douglas honest, because he's got a massive lead. I'm going to guess about 11 feet, maybe 12. There he goes. The pitch is high and outside. The throw down. He is out. What a great throw by Drew Gaff. That's the second time tonight that a Rock Hill runner has been gunned down by Drew Gaff, and that one will retire the side. But more damage done by Rock Hill. The solo home run off the bat of Cole Canty, and it's 4-0 as we head to the 4th inning.
In the 3 innings, first 34 is up 4-0.
I want to say thank you again to sponsors here in 2023. Shilco LLC, a general contractor providing a wide range of construction services, including planning, pre-construction, construction management, design, build, renovation, new construction, and BIM, building excellence since 1978. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of South Kakalaka. You can shop plans, find an agent, get a quote, and so much more by simply going to SouthCarolinaBlues.com. Comporium, a gold level sponsor, internet, TV, security, wireless, or phone. Visit one of the many convenient Comporium locations in the Tri-County area, or go to Comporium.com. Comporium, your friendly neighborhood tech giant. Allen Tate, whether it's real estate, mortgage, insurance, or relocation, contact an agent today or go to AllenTate.com. Allen Tate, we are home. Founders Federal Credit Union, for all your financial needs, visit one of the many Tri-County Founders locations or go online to FoundersFCU.com. For all your financial needs, relax. You're with Founders. Allstate Insurance, Carla Indris in Indian Land. Auto, home, life, renters, and personal property. Visit her office in Indian Land or call her 803-802-2655. Allstate, are you in good hands? And Sonny's Barbecue, visit their location at the intersection of Highway 21 and the Celanese Bypass. Local pitmaster since 1968. All proud sponsors of Fort Mill Post 43 baseball. As we head to the 4th inning, it is all Rock Hill. It is 4-0. Leading it off for Fort Mill will be the shortstop, Gabe Simmons. Gabe hit the ball hard to start off the 2nd inning, but he hit it right to the left fielder.
Leading off the 4th, Gabe Simmons.
Gabe, a graduate of Nation Ford High School. I think he was on the varsity. I know he was on varsity as young as a sophomore. He might have been on the varsity as a freshman. Pitch swung on and hit right to the third baseman. That is the second time tonight that Gabe Simmons has absolutely murdered a baseball. And Rock Hill has just snagged it out of the air. 1 down for Scott Young. And Gabe just looks in frustration.
Number 24, Scott Young.
And now some jawing going on. First pitch to Scott Young. Fastball outside corner at the knees. Scott flew out to right field. In the 2nd, he's 0 for 1 tonight. Thank you all for tuning in wherever you may be tonight across the world. Appreciate all the support. The 0-1. Fastball, nice frame job by Josh Jackson, but outside the zone, it's 1-1. Precious shade across the playing surface on a hot day. Fastball high and inside, 2-1 to Scott. Fort Mill with a lot of work to do. Rock Hill leads by 4. Now, we're going to go ahead, since we're in the middle innings, we're going to start playing the what-if game, which drives people bananas. The breaking ball bangs in there in the front door for a strike. 2-2 the count. Let's say Rock Hill holds on and wins this game. Who wins the series? Because then it would be tied 2-2. My understanding is the first tiebreaker is run differential. 2-2. Fastball outside corner. Jackson popped out to throw it around the horn, but the umpire called it ball 3. Borderline call goes the way of Fort Mill. Sexton wants Jackson to go through the signs here. Payoff to Scott. Yes, he did. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Tried to check his swing, but couldn't. That is the third strikeout for Landon.
Number 11.
2 up and 2 down for Sam Chiz. Now, Sexton is getting outs like he did the first time these two teams played, but he's doing it differently. That first game, he was banging that fastball low and inside. Today, he's just feeding breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball. And there's another one that's off the outside corner. He's not throwing the fastball as much. It's mainly his curveball, his slider. And he's getting Fort Mill out. Fastball swung on and hit to the first baseman. Another scalded dog, or right to the first baseman, and that retires the side. 3 up and 3 down for Fort Mill. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning, still 4-0. Updated in the junior game, they're in the bottom of the third over at the Ridge. Fort Mill 4 and Rock Hill 2. Going to take a 30-second break and come back to you fine folks. You are listening to Fort Mill Post 43 Senior Baseball on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Headed to the bottom of the fourth inning. Rock Hill in control, 4-0. It'll be the bottom part of the order for Coach McCoy's Post 34. It'll be Peeler, Burton, Champaign, 7, 8, and 9. In the order, first pitch is swung on and missed. 13-3 Rock Hill, 8-4 Fort Mill. That pitch is hit high and out of play, foul. So Fort Mill is behind in the loss column. The series right now is 2-1 in favor of Fort Mill. But I think that the first tiebreaker is run differential. So we'll have to run through that scenario. The 0-2 is, he checked the swing on a pitch high and outside. So Rock Hill won the first game of this series. 2-0 was the final. I believe game 2 was, that pitch swung on and missed. Oh, Jaeger just pulled the string on him and had him way out in front. And that's the first punch out for Cheese. 1 up and 1 down for Burton. So the first game was 2-0 in favor of Rock Hill. Then the second game, Fort Mill won that game 11-1 in 5 innings. And then the third game of the series, Fort Mill won that game 14-6. So coming into tonight, based off that math, the pitch just swung on and fouled off right side. So if you do just some quick math, you go 25 minus 2. So Fort Mill's got a 23, or no, hang on a second. 1, 2, 7, 25, 25, and 7 is 17. Pitch 17, it goes 15. So Fort Mill has a 15 plus run differential coming into the night. So the run differential now is cut to 11. What does that mean? Breaking ball off the outside corners, 1-2. What that simply means is if Rock Hill wins this game, but Fort Mill keeps the run differential under 15, at the moment it's 11. As long as they keep it under that number, technically Fort Mill will win the series. And that pitch is swung on and missed. There's the changeup. Back-to-back strikeouts for Pankowski, who looks like he's found something. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Tyler Champagne. Now, again, that's my understanding is run differential. Because you add up the runs for Rock Hill in this series, they have scored 9 coming in, so they've now scored 13. The pitch, fastball high and misses outside. Fort Mill has put up 25. So thus the 11-run differential. The 1-0 stays high, 2-0. But The flip side of the coin for Rock Hill is it would give them a full game and a half over Fort Mill. Pitch in the dirt with Rock Hill having to play Winsboro and finish up that series, and Fort Mill's got to play Lancaster. The 3-0 fastball bangs the outside corner for strike one. All that simply means is, where do you sit in region play in reference to being the number one in that region? That pitch is swung on and missed. It's 3-2. And at the moment, Rock Hill would be the 1, Fort Mill would be the 2. Now, conventional wisdom would tell you both those teams would get a home game. That pitch is swung on and a line drive out into right field. Sam Chiz says he's got a beat on it, and he does. And for the first time tonight, Rock Hill goes 1-2-3. We played 4 complete here at the home of the Bearcats, and Rock Hill leads 4-0 here on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Moving merrily along, headed to the 5th inning. 4-0 Rock Hill is the score, and this game looks an awful lot like the first game of the series, where Landon Sexton, yes, he gave up some hard hit balls, but was in control the entire time. Leading it off will be Hunter Biscay, the designated hitter for Fort Mill. It'll be 7, 8, 9. It'll be Biscuit, Indris, and Gaff. And I'm getting questions from folks about Nico's first AB. Again, y'all can debate it till the cows come home. Pitch off the inside corner to Biscuit. I will say it again. Just one humble man's opinion. The fielder was in position. A good throw gets the runner. It's an error. The 1-0. Right down the middle for a strike. It's 1-1 to Hunter Biscay. But again, that's one of those things where I've seen calls go back and be changed because the scorekeeper saw something along the way. That's very subjective part of the game. Breaking ball off the corner, it's 2-1. I've been a part of conversations with Travis Collier, Mike Morris, and Doug Chapman, and the 4 of us cannot agree on one play. That's what baseball nerdalicious people do. Most people are like, who cares? The pitch swung on and a hard hit ground ball to the second baseman. He'll glove it, throw to first, in time. 1 up and 1 down for Drew Indris.
Number 6, Drew Indris.
That's 5 straight retired, 7 of the last 8. Pitch bangs in there for a strike. Four nothing Rock Hill as we play ball here in the 5th. Pitch from Landon Sexton. Slider off the corner. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Hope everybody's doing well wherever you may be. Thanks again for all the support. If you want to say hello on the chats, all the chat rooms are alive and well. Have at it. Knock yourself out. The pitch swung on and just off the end of the bat, drew way out in front of that breaking ball. Braves do not play tonight, and you can now call them officially the best team in Major League Baseball. They have the best record in Major Leagues. That pitch swung on and missed. There's passes up Indris. That'll be strikeout number 4 for Landon. 2 up and 2 down for the 9-hole hitter, Drew Gaff. And it is all Rock Hill. It's 4-0, and Fort Mill starting to run out of outs. Bottom of the third over at the Swamp. 2 more errors by Rock Hill. Fort Mill now leads that junior game 6-2. Pitch, fastball high and inside. Landon Sexton has given up a base hit in this game. 1. He's walked 3, and there was an error committed. Other than that, he's been flawless. Pitch off the outside corner, 2-0. And the way he's pitching tonight, I think they should send the whole dadgum team to Guatemala for a week. If this is how they look when they come back, wow. He just came back off a mission trip. The 2-0 swung on and hit out of play foul right side. It's 2-1. Ran into his mom and dad into the ballpark. They said he had a great time. They said he couldn't wait to go back. He loved the people. Doing God's work. The 2-1 to Gaff. Swung on in a line drive out into right field, but Mr. Douglas has a beat on it, and 1-2-3 goes Fort Mill in the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom half. Score remains Rock Hill 4 and Fort Mill 0. But the new pitcher for Fort Mill is Seth Hansen. Palmetto Family Hearing Center called the bullpen. They're dedicated to serving all their patients' hearing aids with expertise, cutting-edge technology, and customer service that'll blow your socks off. Visit them at palmettofamilyhearing.com. They're in Fort Mill and in Lancaster, and a proud sponsor of Fort Mill Post 43 baseball. Give you the final line on Cheese. Jaeger went 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, walked 1, struck out 2, 59 pitches, 38 strikes. And I have a very, very blunt and honest question for Mr. Shipman. Next half inning, I would like his opinion on something. And I know I'm going to get just nothing but the truth, and that's what I love. That's it. And do appear for Rock Hill. It's going to be at the top of the order. The dangerous John Wimmer, Ethan Wilson, Josh Jackson.
Post 34, it's number 2, John Wimmer.
John has had a great night so far. He jacked the solo home run. Mr. Duck me tell you what this dude just said to me in the chat room, the pitch. Misses outside the corner. He says, I put my money on Mr. Doug's old Tommy scorebook decision when it comes to judging the correct call. The other folks probably has a legitimate argument, but I'll stick with Mr. Doug. Amen. The pitch swung on and fouled off. 1-1 to count. Who are you going to ask? The guy with almost 60 years of experience or some knucklehead coach? I'm just asking the question. What the heck do I know? Let me answer it for you. Not much. That's why I'm a broadcaster. The 1-1 swung on, tapped for foul. It's 1-2 to John Wimmer. If you missed it earlier, the Angels organization, yes, Major League Baseball. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, or whatever the sandhill they call themselves these days, they are in the park. Looking at Mr. Wimmer. The 1-2 from Hanson. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Drew Gaff's going to have to throw him out, but no, they apply the tag on the way by. First strikeout for Seth. For the first time tonight, John Wimmer's retired. That'll bring up the center fielder, Ethan Wilson. He's got a double and a fly out to right. He's hit the ball hard twice.
Number 5, Ethan Wilson.
Seth Hansen will kick and fire. Breaking ball missed. Seth Hansen, a graduate of Nation Ford High School. He now calls USC Union home. And his dad, Bob, is considered the OG because he was literally the first house built in the neighborhood that is behind the Falcons' Nest, A.O. Jones Boulevard. The 1-0 swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Bob Hansen's a nice dude. I've been in the box with him as he did the scoreboard and stuff before for Nation Ford. Had some good times with that dude. The 1-1 swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Those were the times you had Bob Hansen to your right and you had Keith Cook to your left and some Fort Mill idiot squeezed between the two of them. Somehow I made it out alive. I thought it was just going to end, right out of the deer stand. The 1-2 from Seth swung on and roped over Jordy McCoy's head. It will one hop and over the fence, but foul. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's all Rock Hill. It's 4-0. The 1-2 from Seth, another one, breaking ball. Seth wanted call strike 3 as he hops in the air twice, spins around. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He had the north-south, but the east-west was just a wee bit too far to the west. The 2-2 fastball high and inside. That'll load up at 3-2. Next game up for Fort Mills tomorrow night on the road down off Highway 200. The 3-2 swung on and missed, and Seth Hansen battles back and gets the strikeout of Ethan Wilson. That's the second straight strikeout, and that's the 4th time out of the last 5 batters that Rock Hill has struck out.
Josh Jackson.
And that'll bring up Josh Jackson. I don't want to jinx anything, but if you go back from the end, you go back to Cole Canty's single in the first. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. After that first inning, fastball outside corner first strike. 12 of the next 15 batters for Rock Hill have been retired. Of the 12, 4 have been by strikeout. But again, you can't win games in the first inning, but you sure as heck can lose them. Pitch swung on and fouled off. It's 0-2. And I'm not saying Fort Mill's going to lose this game, but it's a huge hole, and you got a guy on the bump, Landon Sexton, who's dealing. In case you're wondering, about pitch count, he's up at 72. So there is gas in the tank. The 0-2, fastball high and inside. Speaking of my buddy Keith Cook, he is broadcasting the junior game. That update after this pitch from Seth. Breaking ball nowhere near. 2-2. They're in the bottom of the 4th over at the Ridge. So far, so good. Fort Mill 6, Rock Hill 2. The 2-2 from Seth. Fastball swung on and popped up a mile high right side. I don't think it will stay in play, and it will not. It will actually go into the huge oak tree over to our right. This campus has been here a long, long time. These trees are big. First time I came to this ballpark was 8 years ago. It's been a minute. Another 2-2. Breaking ball stays high. It's 3-2. And Seth jerks his arm in frustration. He's an emotional young man, and he will talk to himself. 3-2. Swung on and whistled. Right field. I don't know if the ballpark will hold it. Sam Chiz on the track. Now coming near the wall. Makes the catch. Oh, baby. It's 350 down there, and he hit it about 347. But for the second inning in a row, Rock Hill goes down in order. But a lot of work to do for Fort Mill. We head to the 6th inning. It's 4-0 Rock Hill. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Back early. Let's go ahead and have a chat about tomorrow night. I got my question. Hang on. I forgot. I'm coming back to you. I promise. I swore. We can do that down south. You can swore. By the way, who's the guy warming up the pitcher down here? That's a good-looking youngster right there. I don't know who that is. But he doesn't have a mask on. What are you doing, son? So we have a Palmetto Family Hearing Center call to the bullpen. We got a new pitcher on the mound for Rock Hill, and color me surprised because, like I said, Landon Sexton, 72 pitches, he was dealing, but his night is over. And the new pitcher for Rock Hill is another tough right-hander. It's Michael Gibson. Palmetto Family Hearing Center dedicated to serving all their patients' needs with expertise, technology, and the best customer service in the biz. PalmettoFamilyHearing.com. You can close the book on Landon Sexton. Very impressive scoreline. 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 72 pitches, 38 strikes. He faced 18 batters. So we go from one tall, lanky right-hander to another tall drink of water. This one a little stockier. Michael Gibson, a very strong young man. Similar stuff to Landon Sexton, though, if you want to know the truth. He basically kind of has that slider that he lives off of. He'll have the fastball that's got a little bit of arm side movement to it a little bit, so you have a hard time squaring it up. And if Fort Mill's going to make a comeback, this is the part of the order you want to do it. It's Eli Craddock, Nico Bartolotti, Jonathan Barshall, 1, 2, and 3 in the order. First pitch from Gibson off the outside corner for ball 1. Eli is 0 for 2 tonight. He's hit the ball hard twice, but nothing to show for it. Fastball paints the 0 for 2 tonight. He's hit the ball hard twice, but nothing to show for it. Fastball paints the outside corner. 1-1 the count to Craddock. Fort Mill graduate, headed to St. Andrews University. The 1-1. Swung on and fouled back. It's 1-2. Fort Mill still just the 1 hit in this game. And you go back to the first game of this series, Fort Mill came out of that game with only 4 base hits. Remember we talked about with the bases loaded and nothing came from it? That looks huge now. That pitch swung on. Caroms off the glove of the pitcher right to the second baseman, Champagne, who makes the play. Just your run-of-the-mill 1-4-3 ground out. Happens all the time. 1 down for Nico Bartolotti.
Coming to the plate, number 16, Nico Bartolotti.
That's a great job by Tyler Champagne because he was headed to his right as that ball skirted the middle. Put his right foot in the dirt pivoted to his left, gloved it through to first. Not as easy as it looks. The pitch inside corner, off the corner to Nico, who's 0 for 1. A walk, reached on an error, and was retired on interference back in the first inning, which was the right call, by the way. Pitch called a strike. I asked for the opinion of a couple of folks sitting down below us, and they all said, yep, it was. The 1-1 off the inside corner, 2-1 to Bartolotti. Fort Mill with work to do. It's 4-0 Rock Hill. Pitch from Gibson, 57-footer, and it sticks into the fence. So on your bingo card, if you had a ball getting stuck in the chain link fence, come on down. You are a winner, please. Go see Mr. Buck. He's downstairs in front of the concession stand. The 3-1, all the way to the backstop, ball 4. And Nico Bartolotti reaches for the third time. His on-base streak continues. So a 1-out base runner for Jonathan Barshow. Jonathan tonight is 0 for 2. Struck out looking. 0 for 2. Struck out looking. And he rolled into a double play. That was a very impressive play by Tyler Champagne. It was a hard ground ball at the middle. Tyler, almost behind the second base bag, smothered it on his keister. Got it to Wimmer, who pivoted and threw to first. Pitch to Jonathan, fastball off the outside corner for ball 1. What does Fort Mill do here? You need base runners, so I would seriously doubt Nico's going to be running here. The 1-0, fastball outside corner at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Catawba Ridge Copperhead Jonathan Barshow. Pitch from Michael. Breaking ball just off the corner. 2 balls and a strike to Barshow. Michael Gibson, that pitch is swung on and hit high in the air. Shallow right field. Jay Douglas says he's got a beat on it, and he will make the catch for out number 2. Runner stays at first. That's Bartolotti, and that'll bring up Gabe Simmons. And Mr. Simmons tonight has hit 2 bullets. 1 to the left fielder, 1 to the third baseman. I mean, he has absolutely smoked the ball twice and nothing to show for it. But that was off Landon Sexton. Can you do anything here with Michael Gibson? Pitch, breaking ball off the corner. That's more of a slurve. That's literally halfway between a slider and a curveball. It's almost comes in there like a 10-4. The pitch, fastball, swung on and fouled back by Gabe, who is headed to Gaston College. Pitch from Gibson. Misses low. 2 balls and a strike. So tomorrow night is at Lancaster. I cannot guarantee you that I will have the camera set up and have YouTube going. I don't know. It all depends on where I'm able to set up. I'm going to take everything as if I'm going to be in the press box. I might be, I might not. I don't know. The 2 ball and 1 strike pitch is off the corner, 3-1. And Coach Jackson, he's on vacation. Well deserved. He's a hard-working man. He's the head coach of the Great Falls Red Devils, so well-deserved vacation, so I don't want to bother him about it. The 3-1, swung on a foul back, 3-2. Try to reach out to Coach Barron and find out where will I be able to set up. Worst comes to worst, I'll set up where Keith did, up near the old ticket office that has a power outlet that still works, which blew my mind. Payoff. Fastball low and outside. Good eye from Gabriel. Ball 4. Now, first and second for Fort Mill for Scott Young. Scott's due, flew out to right, struck out.
Number 24, Scott Young.
It's been a wee bit of a slump as of late. He can change that with one massive swing of the old stick. I know his grandfather is listening in. Hope you're doing well tonight, Mr. Young. Probably Uncle Patrick up in Pennsylvania as well. That pitch off the outside corner, 1-0. And by the way, brag on his uncle up in PA for a second. That is an all-star level umpire in softball. He's pretty good. And now Gibson's going to step off the rubber and he wants to have a conversation with his catcher. Fort Mill with a chance. Of course, if you want to be greedy, of course you're looking for a chance. Of course, if you want to be greedy, of course you're looking for the 3-run home run. That goes without saying. But right here, if you're Fort Mill, you would just take a little duck snort out to right center field. Just score one. Just kind of get the line moving a little bit. Pitch to Scott Young. Fastball swung on. He hit a high in the air, right field. The ballpark will hold it. Jay Douglas near the line will squeeze it. That will take care of Scott Young, and it will retire to the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 4-0. Rock Hill is your score. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the 6th inning. Rock Hill looking for insurance. Fort Mill trying to keep the score right where it is. Pitch from Mr. Hanson is swung on and a worm burner that almost eats up Eli, but he hangs with it. Throw across is high. Did he get him on the tag? No. Off the bag and did not get him on the way by. So a great job of a scoop by Eli, but his throw across was not true.
Now batting number 22, Cole Ganty.
So Cooper Parks will reach. And I think you got to give that an error because Eli was able to smother it. The throw across was not true. But a good throw would have got him. Pitch. That's in the dirt. Runner takes off for second. The throw down. He is gone. 3rd time tonight, a Rock Hill batter has been gunned down by Drew Gaff, who gets a high five from Cole Ganty and says, smile. Cole said, good job. Oh, that will go as an E5 and a caught stealing. That'll take the runner off the base pass. 1 down. Fastball off the outside corner. Sometimes we forget these young men have played baseball with and against each other for a long, long time. There's only the Catawba River that separates these two towns. The pitch swung on and missed. It's 2-1. And whether it's CBC or Legacy or On Deck or so on and so forth, Little League all the way through, these guys somewhere along the way have been teammates. The 2-1. Too far inside, over at 3 balls and a strike. The junior game is still going the way of Fort Mill. 6-2 is that score. No update on that. Not so good news. That pitch is swung on and making a comeback. It's in the top of the 5th over at the Ridge. The score is now 6-5. Very good Rock Hill Junior team. That's going to be tough sledding for Fort Mill. Pitch swung on and a rifle shot past Jordy McCoy. That's the 3rd time tonight Jordy's kind of heard the viciousness of the baseball go whizzing across his head. Three balls and 2 strikes. Pitch, breaking ball. Check the swing. Yes, he did. Good eye there from Canty. A 1-out walk. I'll bring up Jay Douglas.
Number 8, Jay Douglas.
Jay is 0 for 1 tonight. A walk and a ground out. Coach McCoy came out to, I think he's going to take the runner down, I think. Yes. There will be a new runner at first for Cole. It's going to be number 1, who is Skylar Hooten. So take down Cole Canty for Skylar, or beg your pardon, excuse me, not 0, number 1, Garrison Kane. I beg your pardon. Garrison Kane is the new runner for Rock Hill. So he will probably take over in left field. Breaking ball. Didn't quite reach the zone. So remember, you're not allowed to re-enter in Legion Baseball. So Cole Canty's night is over. Pitch bounces up there. Nice stop by Drew Gaff. The only thing I can think of is maybe Garrison Kane is a step up defensively. More of a defensive substitution as they go for the final 3 outs. I don't know. Maybe just trying to get PT. Hard to say. Hey, both players are good. They can both play at a high level. It's an embarrassment of riches on that bench for Coach Jeremy McCoy. That fastball misses high, 3 balls and no strikes. He can look down his bench, and he's got Rock Hill players, Northwestern, South Point, and York. Drew Gaff jogs out to the bump. He wants to have a conversation with Seth Hansen. 3 balls and no strikes. And basically at this point in time, don't walk anybody. Just throw strikes, get it in there. There is action in the Fort Mill bullpen. I believe it's Lane Ross. I think. 3-0 from Seth. Fastball right down Tom Hall Street. 3-1 is the count. 4-0 is the score. Obnoxious strike off the bat of Jay Douglas. But it showed you his power with that Gorilla DeMarini, the gold bat that a lot of youngsters are swinging today. Payoff pitch due here to Jay. Here it goes. Swung on and drilled in the deep left center field. Coming over in the gap is Indris. He'll run it down, and the runner will have to scurry back to first base. Garrison Kane took off like a house of fire. He thought that ball was going to drop. So did I initially, but it hung up just enough for Drew Indus to run it down. So 2 down for Jack Peeler. And Mr. Peeler tonight is 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. pitch, fastball missed high. By the way, the error to start this inning, that was the first Rock Hill batter to reach base since the third. That first inning and then the top of the second loomed large. The 1-0 swung on and missed, pops away from Drew Gaff, and it'll get called a strike, obviously. More than likely a passed ball. They're at the bottom of the fifth over at the Ridge. It's 6-5 Fort Mill in the junior game. The 1-1 from Seth Hansen bangs the outside corner for strike two. They are going to rule that officially as a passed ball to allow Garrison Kane to reach second. Pitch from Seth, fastball, tried to bang it in the back door, but just off the corner. And now the field umpire is pointing into the Rock Hill dugout. I think they're just telling everybody to get behind the fence. No loitering outside the dugout, which players tend to kind of meander their way out of the dugout at times. That pitch, wow, all the way to the backstop on the fly. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would have had a hard time bringing that one in. 3-2 is the count. So a runner at third. Another mistake by Seth Hansen would make it 5-zip. Payoff pitch, nowhere near. And a great job by Drew Gaff of bringing that one down. And Coach Skula's got one step outside that first base dugout as Mr. Shipman will key the microphone and call on the pitch hitter for Rock Hill, which is going to be number 7. And that is Kamari Moore, who is a dangerous hitter. And he's got wheels, and speed never slumps. And on cue, here comes the all-time winningest coach in Fort Mill Post 43 history. That is Tom Skula, and he will make the Palmetto Family Hearing Center call to the bullpen. Third pitcher of the night for Fort Mill Post 43. Will it be Mr. Ross, who hurdles the fence? The new pitcher for Fort Mill after hurdling the fence is number 13, Lane Ross. He'll come into the game. We'll let him warm up, and while he does that, take about a 30-second break. You're listening to Post 43 Senior Baseball on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network, powered by MixLR and YouTube. Back in a moment. Lane Ross, the Nation Ford Falcon. Very polite young man. His mama, Kathy.
Pitch hitting for post 34, number 7, Damari Moore.
Keith Cook, my buddy, just waxes poetic about Mrs. Ross. So a new pitcher with a pinch hitter, which is Kamari Moore. Fastball on the outside corner. Kamari is a Rock Hill Bearcat. So he's extremely familiar with the confines of Rock Hill High School. Ross out of the stretch pitch. Fastball just off the corner. 1-1 the count to Kamari. Open stance, but he closes it back up in a more traditional style as the pitch is delivered, which is right down Tom Hall Street above the knees for strike 2. Runners at the corners, but 2 outs. Runner takes off for second. Lane's going to fake, and they got the runner at third hung up. A good throw gets him, and a throw is good. He's gone. And he looks immediately at his coach like, hey, I beat the rap. But that'll be the 4th time tonight that a Rock Hill Bearcat has been caught stealing. And that will take care of Mr. Kane at third, and it will retire the side. But last chance saloon for Fort Mill Post 43. We head to the 7th inning. Your score is Rock Hill 4 and Fort Mill 3. As the old saying goes, you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. Speaking of scratching, we've got a new pitcher for Rock Hill. I have no idea what that transition means. Another Palmetto Family Hearing Center call to bullpen. The new twirler for Rock Hill is Legion Collegiate graduate Roman Edwards, number 16 for Rock Hill. He will come on to close it out. For Fort Mill, going to be the bottom part of the order. Fort Mill's going to make a comeback. It's going to be Sam Chiz, Hunter Biscay, Drew Indris are the scheduled hitters. And looking down on deck for Fort Mill, those are the gentlemen with the batting gear on. So it'll be Sam to start it. Sam has the only base knock in tonight's game for Fort Mill. That came way back in the 2nd.
Number 16, Roman Edwards. Leading off the top of the 7th. Number 11, Sam Chiz.
Roman Edwards is one of the coolest cats you will see throw a baseball. He just gets it, throws it back, expressionless. Kicks and fires and inside, which is actually a great quality for a pitcher. Never too high, never too low. The 1-0 from Edwards. Fastball bangs the outside corner to Chiz. Sam also lined out in the 4th, so he's hit the ball hard twice tonight. Several Fort Mill players have hit the ball hard, but great defense by Rock Hill. The 1-1 from Roman. Fastball outside corner. 1-2 the count to Sam Chiz. Roman kicks and fires. The pitch is swung on and missed. Blows it right past Sam Chiz. One out here in the top of the 7th for Hunter Biscay. First strikeout for Roman. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4th strikeout of the night by Rock Hill pitching. Scratch that. 5th strikeout. Here's Biscuit, who has walked and grounded out. That fastball caught the corner, but missed low. The 1-0 from Edwards. Fastball tried to hit the back door, but missed. 2 balls and no strikes to Hunter Biscay, Clover graduate. If there's one thing Fort Mill Post 43 has this year, it's a plethora of catchers. That one off the corner is 3-0. There's Drew Gaff, Hunter Biscay, and Scott Young. And all 3 of them can swing the War Club. So you got to try to find for all 3 of those bats in the lineup. So Coach Skula, one's a catcher, one's at first, one's the DH. The 3-0. Fastball missed high and outside, ball 4 to Biscuit. Second free pass issued to Hunter tonight. And a 1-out base runner for Fort Mill. Then I bring up Drew Indris.
Number 6, Drew Indris.
If Drew can find a gap, he could probably run down Hunter by the time to get the second. Drew can fly. The pitch. Fastball on the knees at the outside corner. 1-0. Strike 1, 0-1 the count. Beg your pardon. As the sun sets behind us, as we near the end of June, hard to believe we're halfway through the year. The 0-1 swung on a worm burner to short. This could do it. They'll go to second for 1. Relay to first. Bang, bang, play. Safe. Umpire out in the field. Looked at second. Immediately pivoted to his right. Took about 3 or 4 steps. Set himself and looked right at the play. It'll go as a fielder's choice. It'll go 6-4 on the putout. And the last hope for Fort Mill is Drew Gaff.
Batting number 4, Drew Gaff.
Who is 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out looking to end the second. Flew out to right to end the 5th. Pitch from Roman Edwards. That one hits the bottom of the zone on the corner for strike 1. Again, next game up for Fort Mills tomorrow night at Lancaster, 7 o'clock first pitch. I will be on the air. It's just a question of what technology I'll be using. The 0-1 swung on and popped up a mile high. This will do it. Jay Douglas over into the gap. He will reach up and squeeze it, and that's ball game. Your final score is Rock Hill 4 and Fort Mill nothing. Your final line score for Fort Mill Post 43. No runs on 1 hit, 2 errors. For Rock Hill, 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. So in the 2 games in this park this year for Fort Mill Post 43, no runs, a grand total of 5 base hits, and Landon Sexton was the big gun in both those games. So the series ends 2-2. If you go to run differential, the run differential ended up being Fort Mill plus 11. So if there is a tiebreaker situation, it'll go to Fort Mill. But that's a big if, because now Rock Hill has a solid 1.5 game lead over Fort Mill Post 43, and there's only 3 games left. You've got Lancaster tomorrow night, as Rock Hill has to take on the Winsboro Bandits. Fort Mill's got to take on Lancaster at Lancaster tomorrow night, and then again on Monday and Wednesday, and then the playoffs begin the week after that. Again, once we find more information about the playoffs and how they're seeding in and who's grouped with who and who goes where and the hows, whats, whens, and wheres, we will certainly let everybody know as soon as we know something. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate your support. Without y'all, I wouldn't be in this chair, and I'm humbled and blessed to be the voice of Fort Mill Post 43. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. I know you didn't really enjoy the game, but Fort Mill will move on. Fort Mill falls to 8-5 on the year. Rock Hill improves to a very impressive 14-3. Fort Mill will move on. Fort Mill falls to 8-5 on the year. Rock Hill improves to a very impressive 14-3. 3. Winning pitcher tonight, Landon Sexton. Jager Pankowski will take the loss for Fort Mill. And Jager kind of found himself there after that solo home run in the middle in the third inning by Cole Canty. He seemed to find himself there, but at that point in time, the damage had been done by Rock Hill. So again, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. My buddy Doug Chapman, the beloved Mr. Doug. We love you, Mr. Doug. Thoughts and prayers to you, my man. And again, huge thanks to Mr. Shipman and his lovely family for tolerating me through 14 grueling innings of baseball. But if there's a positive, we did it quickly. The players did it quickly, that's what you want. So we'll be home by the clock. So on behalf of Athletic Director Mac Banks, Senior Head Coach Tom Skula, I'm John Turner. We will see you crazy kids tomorrow night. And until then, so long.
Yeah, you definitely could do it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm not